This week I'm going to talk about what I call make it work. So we've gone through the whole process of prove it works, getting the ERP fully configured, tested, absolutely battle tested. And we're now going into the mode of actually making this thing live. And I'm going to talk about the things that are necessary to achieve a high value outcome with absolutely zero risk of failure, which is very different to what most people are experiencing. So what we're looking at here is working towards a point where the chief executive can sit with their top team in a boardroom, look them in the eye, and everybody certifies in writing that the business is ready to go live. And then it goes live without incident. That's what we're looking for. So, sort of key principles. We're talking about a disciplined transition from laboratory to live business. We're talking about the goal being a smooth, controlled, uneventful go live. We're looking at a 20-year investment for new ERP, 10 years for major remediation, and 5 years for modest. We're looking at engineering failure out before go live. We're looking at strong CEO custody and the strategic project leader and backup from the C-suite. We're talking about war game until the whole thing is flawless. And then we're talking about tough go, no-go governance. So with flawless go live, it's engineered long before commissioning begins. So we're talking about AI-assisted skills assessment. We're taking an inventory of the skills of every single person who will touch the ERP and identifying whether they need basic, standard, advanced, or expert skills, and then putting them through training programs, CBT, computer-based training programs of AI enablement to train them up to a level when they sit in front of the computer, they are demonstrably competent. If you're not familiar with CBT, computer-based training, you might want to investigate that. But what we're talking about is something which follows a script, which is if you do this, this, and this, and this, and this, and will happen, do this, do this, do this, do this, and then test them. It says, if you do this, what will happen? If you click there, what will happen? Until they really know what they're doing. We're looking at war-gamed commissioning, engineering the go live. So we're not talking about an improvised go live that is really done on a gut feel basis the first time you do it. We're talking about commissioned engineering and documented. We're talking about SQL scripts, AI agents and scripts, high-level control, rehearsed repeatedly until we're absolutely sure that we know what we're doing and go flawless. And what I'd ask you to notice here, folks, we're talking about taking out of the ERP space all the stuff that leads to the posts that I see on LinkedIn every day. But what you need to understand here is it's going to take longer than it normally does because you're taking risk out. And then you have to say, well, do we really need to replace the system? Could we maybe just remediate it with a much lower profile? So we're looking to eliminate chaos and rehearse the entire go live in the lab. We're looking to audit before and after go live, so the auditors should be involved in prove it works to make sure that they're happy with the reports, etc., that everything works. Once you've done their go live dry run, they should make sure that they're happy with what you're bringing forward. And then once you've done the go live, they should satisfy themselves that everything's absolutely as it should be. What you're looking for is a flawless year-end audit in which there are no qualifications. The audit is done quickly and affordably, and you have an excellent audit outcome. We then move on to go live certification and personal accountability that goes with that. We're talking about a certificate that is issued to every member of the team, that is signed off by every member of the team, and which says, I, the undersigned, hereby certify that I've thoroughly evaluated and inspected all areas of the ERP data warehouse and business intelligence under my jurisdiction, being lists what they are. And by my signature below, I confirm that as far as my area of responsibility is concerned, the ERP is ready to go live. Date, place, signature. The wording can be tuned according to corporate culture, but it should be tough. people should understand that if they put their name to a certificate and something goes wrong, they are going to be asked to explain what happened. So the certificate is a certificate of readiness to go live, and it's the culmination of all the training, all the war games, and everything else. And notice that the consultants also need to complete these certificates. And what I've called the go live convocation, which is getting the top team together with the CEO, the strategic project leader, the C-suite, general managers in attendance. So you've worked up a number of levels through the organization, and it depends on the size of the organization. A small to medium-sized organization, you won't have multiple tiers, but if you're a big multinational, you're going to have multiple tiers involved. And folks, I can't stress enough, it really upsets me when I see these reports of Little, Birmingham Council, all these other situations where massive damage is done to the client organization. It's all entirely preventable. And this method that we're talking about here will prevent it if you do the prove it works and everything else that goes before this. Then controlled cutover. So you war game the whole cutover. You're going to say, well, that's big, that's complicated. You test things properly, folks. As an engineer, you do not roll out a rocket and put people on it to go to the moon or wherever without making sure that it works reliably under controlled conditions. And then post-go live support. I reckon that within 3 months after go live, the system should be running smoothly. In actual fact, my contention is that if you do everything that I've talked about in the last few months, your system will perform flawlessly from day one. But let's be generous and let's give it 3 months. So what I'm saying is that within 3 months, the goal should be for the consultants to say, au revoir, it's been nice working with you. You're now totally in control. Everything should be running absolutely smoothly, absolutely flawlessly. And that's when you have a celebration. You don't have a party at go live. You have a party when the system is bedded down, stable, and running smoothly. And then you move into the thrive phase, which we'll talk about in another series. So the conclusion, find every weakness before go live, challenge every assumption, break the system until it's robust. Flawless go live delivers business value. The ERP becomes a precision machine. Unlock strategic executive decision support and enable the organization to thrive. The end goal is a flawless go live that delivers value from month one. Can't stress this enough, folks. The stuff that I see commented on daily on LinkedIn should not be happening if you follow this approach. So just to recap my ERP Accelerator, we've worked all the way up now to make it work, and I will be discussing in more detail each of the components of make it work in the days ahead. And we'll look at Thrive, and then we'll dip back down and look at the critical human foundation. We're also going to look at the role of AI in this whole thing. Please drop your questions in the comments. If you'd like to find out more about the ERP Accelerator, I offer a free 90-minute briefing on it, and I also offer an in-depth 4-day course where you can deep dive into the whole methodology and learn all the tricks of the trade, together with getting a whole pack of documentation to support it. So I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day.